cold night in a small village on the outskirts of the city. There was an abandoned house known to everyone as House Number 13. This house was the center of many rumors and scary stories passed down through generations. It was said that evil spirits inhabited it and that anyone who entered would never come out. The story began when a group of teenage friends, Hassan, Fatima, Layla, and Mohammed, decided to explore House Number 13. They were adventurous and did not fear the tales their grandmothers told. On a dark winter night, the friends gathered near the old, dilapidated gate of the house. The wind was howling, as if warning them not to enter. Hassan said loudly to hide his fear, "Are you ready? Let's discover the truth about this house ourselves." Layla replied with feigned bravery, "Yes, let's see if all those stories are true or just myths." The four friends entered the house cautiously, and the floor creaked under their feet. The walls were cracked and covered with a thick layer of dust, indicating that the house had not been touched for many years. The atmosphere inside was cold and dark, adding to the eerie feeling of the place. In the living room, they found old, abandoned furniture and family photos hanging on the walls. Mohammed picked up an old photo and started examining it. Suddenly, he felt a cold hand touch his shoulder. He turned quickly to find it was just a shadow, but his heart was pounding. Fatima suggested, "Let's split up and explore the house. I'll go upstairs with Layla, and Hassan and Mohammed can check out the basement." Everyone agreed with the idea, and they began dividing themselves to explore the house. Fatima and Layla headed upstairs via a rickety wooden staircase. Upon reaching the upper floor, they found a long, dark corridor with scattered doors on either side. Layla cautiously opened one of the doors to find an old bedroom with a bed covered in a dirty blanket. While Layla was examining the room, Fatima heard faint crying coming from the next room. She looked at Layla with wide eyes and said, "Did you hear that?" Layla replied, "Yes, let's go see where that sound is coming from." They slowly approached the next room, and Fatima carefully opened the door. What they saw exceeded all their expectations. The room contained an old, large mirror, and in the mirror appeared the ghost of a little girl crying. She was wearing a torn white dress, and her long hair covered her face. Fatima exclaimed in shock, "Oh my God, what is that?" Meanwhile, in the basement, Hassan and Mohammed were exploring the dark, foul-smelling space, filled with old boxes scattered everywhere. Suddenly, they heard heavy footsteps approaching them. Hassan said in a trembling voice, "Did you hear that?" Mohammed replied, "Yes, it sounds like someone is here with us." They began searching for the source of the sound and found a small door in the corner of the basement. They opened the door to find a narrow passage leading to a secret room. When they entered the room, it was filled with strange objects and symbols drawn on the walls. In the center of the room was a table with an old, dusty book on it. Mohammed approached the book and began reading aloud. This book contains spells to summon evil spirits. Hassan interrupted him. "Stop. We don't know if this is real or not. We don't want to get involved in something we don't understand." As they argued, things began moving on their own. Boxes fell off shelves and doors slammed shut. The friends were terrified and decided to flee the house immediately. When they reached the upper floor, they met Fatima and Layla, who were also rushing to leave. Fatima told them what they had seen in the room and they all decided to leave the house quickly. When they finally exited the house, they were all sweating and their hearts were pounding. They looked at each other in shock, and Hassan said, "Let's go home now. I don't ever want to come back to this place." The friends returned to their homes and tried to forget what had happened. But that night was not peaceful. Each of them began to have terrifying nightmares and heard strange noises and saw ghosts in their homes. They realized they had summoned something from house number 13, and it would not leave them in peace. They decided to seek help from a well-known spiritual elder in the village. When they arrived and told him what had happened, the elder said, "You have meddled with forces you don't understand. Now, you must return everything to its place and seek forgiveness from the spirits you disturbed." He took them back to house number 13. The place looked even more frightening in daylight. They entered the basement again, and the elder recited spells to return the spirits to their place. Suddenly, they felt a strange calm envelop the place, as if something had changed. The elder said, "It is done. Do not come back here again. You have left something dark behind, but the spirits are now at peace." The friends returned to their homes and finally felt at ease. But the haunting memory of house number 13 never left their minds. They had learned a harsh lesson. Some doors should never be opened, and some secrets should remain hidden. Since then, no one in the village dared to approach house number 13. The house remained abandoned and dark, telling the story of those who challenged the darkness and paid the price. Over time, the story of the four friends became part of the village's heritage, told by generations as a warning to anyone thinking of exploring the unknown. If you enjoyed this story and want more scary tales, don't forget to subscribe to the Snap Tales channel on YouTube to always stay updated with the latest mysterious and terrifying stories.